Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your friend Steven, and welcome to the first episode of my podcast that I yet have a name to. Kind of been debating on a couple of different names, and this is falling, but that's all right. Nope, we're going live here. So my first name was Steven Talks Oklahoma. That was my original name, and then I thought about naming my podcast The Poop, which is the People of Oklahoma podcast. And literally everyone that I've asked, even Sarah, who is the producer of this podcast, said that's a terrible idea. But you know what? I think we're just gonna roll with it. But before we start talking about names and stuff, I just wanted to start. And so my first guest of my first episode of my podcast is one of my really good friends. His name is Kendall. And I'm really excited to have him on because he is a high school graduate and is unemployed. So, Kendall, welcome to the podcast. Welcome. Yes, Kendall James in the house.
Thank you.
You bring more to the table than just being an unemployed high school graduate. But did you actually graduate high school?
I did graduate high school. I'm not sure. I had like 30 absences my senior year, my last semester. So.
And I can't believe you were my vice president and student council.
Yeah. But I can't believe that you were our president.
We both ran unopposed.
Yes.
I think people let us win because they just thought it was going to be a joke.
Well, I mean, it was a bit of a, yeah. I think it went downhill afterwards, though, personally.
No, yeah. We
For sure.
I mean, we brought a glow dance to the school. I mean, that was one of the things I ran on. I said, hey, guys, we're going to have a glow dance. And we did it. So
yeah.
That was interesting.
You know.
But no, Kendall, you bring more to the table than that. Kendall is also a real estate entrepreneur. You started a brokerage in Oklahoma City, focusing on just investment properties, which a lot of real estate agents kind of do a dabble in, standard residential and investment. You just purely dealt with investment.
Yeah.
And what I like to tell people is you did very well at making other people money.
Yeah.
You made a lot of people a lot of money, except for, yourself, making a lot of money. Which, did that come out as a dig?
A little bit, but it's,
Okay. Well, that's this podcast. We're just going to or I'm just not going to be politically correct, I guess, all the time. But, so I just wanted to have you on to first off kind of start off this podcast. And then also this first episode is going to be horrible. So I thought, why not bring my best friend on it and, give me practice so I can get better at it. So Kendall, tell me a little bit about what you did and what you're doing now.
So I think it's funny that you introduced me as unemployed because I introduced myself as an entrepreneur and as a real estate investor, both of which tend to be synonymous with unemployment. I am currently working towards transitioning into more tech. That's kind of something that just happened throughout my real estate career. But yeah, I was a agent. I started off flipping houses in my hometown, your adopted hometown.
We used to have so many freaking parties at the house.
Do you consider Ponca your hometown or something?
No. Yeah, I do. Okay. I mean, I graduated there.
Right. So started off flipping and then got into agency because, it started off with me having a hard time finding an agent to help me find flips. I think there's a big need in real estate for agents, for real estate investors. It's a niche that is typically filled with wholesalers. And I think
a lot of wholesalers.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did some research, messaging agents on LinkedIn and things about, do you work with distressed property buyers? And the most frequent, answer is no, because it's not worth the money. It's not worth and wholesalers don't have that problem, right?
Right.
It's all about the commission structure. If you're just charging a flat fee, or if you're charging based on the price of the property, then it's two completely, a real estate agent looks at it as 3% on a $50,000 house isn't much money, and a wholesaler looks at it as, I can probably make $15,000 on this.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy numbers. Like, I remember this wholesaler that I follow, because that's also, some people give like wholesalers a bad name and like, oh, wholesalers are the worst. But I mean, I met some really, really good ones that, they benefits everybody, But yeah, he was telling me he made one deal like $30,000 off of a sale of like a $120,000 house.
Yeah.
And it was all said and done. And I was like, gosh, that is crazy. But
yeah.
it just kind of works that way. Now let's go back into the entrepreneur, because I feel like, man, this day and age, because when we were growing up, you always had this entrepreneurial spirit. And from high school, like, we're not going to talk about some of the avenues that you did, but you always had the entrepreneurial spirit, and I was the opposite. Like, you were a risk taker, I wasn't a risk taker, but I think this day and age, like, entrepreneurial is cool now. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and I wouldn't call myself an entrepreneur, but some people do. I wouldn't call myself that because I'm just afraid of risk. Mm-hmm. And I think you need to, and am I wrong? Or what do you, because there is a level of risk in being an entrepreneur, and
I would say there's a level of risk in being employed also. I personally think I'm a very risk averse person. It just kind of depends on how you assess risk, right?
Yeah, I was so happy when your wife got a job.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
I think a lot of people were, yeah.
So you went. Now you did the real estate investing and stuff like that. So let's dive in a little bit more into that and talk about it in Oklahoma. So I have a YouTube channel, Steven Talks Oklahoma. That's the name of this podcast. Might be the name of this podcast if Sarah gives me the green light of letting me call it the poop. So on my YouTube channel, I talk about things here in Oklahoma. A lot of my real estate, because I am a real estate agent, that's what I do full time. And so I get a lot of people looking from out of state to either live in Oklahoma, full time, or what? Oh, is it this one?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. I typed in the wrong one. Oh, hopefully I don't break this. But they're looking here to move here, or I actually get a lot of people that are looking to invest in Oklahoma and investment properties. So quick. One word answer: is Oklahoma a good place to invest in housing, in properties?
Absolutely.
What would you say? Would you say it's like top 10 in the United States?
Yes, absolutely.
Top 5?
Probably, yeah.
Top 3?
Yes.
Number 1?
State-wise, I would say 1. Yeah, probably.
All right. So if you had to invest in any city in Oklahoma, well, actually, just give me a couple.
Tulsa. That's why
Tulsa?
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, that's
for a long time. Oklahoma City was the place, but Tulsa has been behind economically. The real estate market has been lagging 3 to 4 years. It seems like since I started in 2015. Oklahoma City has finally got to the place where it's a little bit too hot for me, but that's why I decided.
Why do you think Oklahoma City has gotten too hot?
The Thunder,
the basketball team.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Well, I think that when the Thunder came to Oklahoma City, they were like the 31st largest city in the U.S. Now they're the 20th.
Huh.
Yeah. I think that number alone, there was one hotel downtown, and
downtown. I was down there
25.
For the Thunder game, and downtown Oklahoma City, it's popping. They have like an actual trail line thing. What do you call those trains that are like electric and like trolleys?
Yeah, trolley.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, all the map stuff. I was a lot of this information I got from David Holt's State of the City.
Who's that?
The mayor.
Oh, that's mayor of Oklahoma City?
Yeah, and so he, one of the things I didn't know about, they were talking about putting in a commuter line from Edmond all the way down to Norman.
They do that?
They're
in the process of doing it?
Yeah, okay. I heard they're in the process.
Man, that would be cool. They actually talk about making trains from Tulsa to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That would be sick too. That would be so sick. So you see the Thunder has kind of have gotten, probably the name on the map of Oklahoma City, but you also said probably search engine wise, when people search for investing in Oklahoma, obviously Oklahoma City will pop up first because of the name, right?
Right.
I remember you telling me that, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. And it's so funny because I'll talk to people from, other states looking to move here to Oklahoma, and they're like, you know what, we're looking at Oklahoma City. And then we kind of just stumbled across Tulsa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think that's so interesting because obviously Tulsa is the second biggest metropolitan area. Actually, there's only 2 metropolitan areas in Oklahoma. But no one really thinks about Tulsa first. Everyone thinks about Oklahoma City. And I hate Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Is that a strong word? Can I say that?
It's definitely a strong word, but
I don't hate Oklahoma City, by the way. Clear that up.
Most of my clients were out of state, and I think that the problem is that a lot of people don't know Tulsa exists. Most people that I talk to could only name one city in Oklahoma City, or in Oklahoma, and that was Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So so what would you say, investing wise, Oklahoma City is kind of hot. What makes Tulsa so not, kind of desirable for investments and stuff like that? Would you say
not?
No, Tulsa is,
Yeah, I think. Well, I saw some stats recently that suggested that Tulsa is the most affordable city in the nation right now, as far as residential real estate goes, price to value. So, like I said, I mean, they're a little behind Oklahoma City. They have been appreciation wise a year or two, and so it's like buying in 2020.
And that's the other thing is I never knew why this number was so important for cities or metropolitan areas, but Tulsa just passed 1 million people in the metropolitan area.
Yep. For
Tulsa, or for the greater Tulsa area. So that would be like Owasso, Broken Arrow, Bixby, Tulsa, Sulpopa, Sand Springs. So I never knew that was a really big deal, but I guess for an economic size city, you get more, opportunities of, businesses, corporations looking at Tulsa seriously now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. So here's the real question though, Kendall. You lived in Oklahoma City for how many years?
8.
8 years. You lived in Tulsa now
7.
for, I don't know, maybe
9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better?
I figured you were going to ask this question.
Why is that?
Just because the entire time I was in Oklahoma City, every time I talked to you, the conversation was like, how much better Tulsa is, which you've never lived anywhere outside of Tulsa since you were an adult. So I think that's a really unfair question. I don't want to bash Oklahoma City. I think the real answer is that I think I like myself better now, at this age. And that's why I like Tulsa better. It's hard for me to say, I'm much more active here. And at first I attributed that to just Tulsa being a more inviting, pull you outside place. But I'm not sure that that's entirely fair. I mean, there's walking trails and things in Oklahoma City. I think maybe I just wasn't at that point in time in my life, at that age, where I was interested in doing those things, and so maybe I just never dipped into them. But I do like Tulsa a lot. It doesn't feel, it's not the plains. That's the thing. Growing up in Ponca, living in Oklahoma City, it's the plains. It's flat. There's nothing. There's not, they call it green country around here.
Right.
There's a lot more bugs.
Not more bugs.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that. That would be true. All right. So what are some different, so you talked about the plains. What are some other differences you noticed? So if I was debating moving to Oklahoma City or Tulsa, and maybe came across this really great real estate agent named Stephen Hester's YouTube channel and wanted to know the difference between the two. I'm just speaking hypothetically here.
Yeah. What would my steps be?
Yeah. But what would you say the differences are? No, good or bad, but mostly lean good towards Tulsa.
Well, Oklahoma City is 3 times the size. It's the 10th largest city in the U.S. by land area. And most of the other 10, in fact, I think 8 of the other 10 are either in Montana or Alaska. Houston is the only metropolitan area with more land square miles than Oklahoma City.
Oh, is it?
It's literally 3 times the size of Tulsa. It's bigger than LA. So that's a difference. And you can feel it. I think that's one of the big reasons why it feels like there's more to do and things, because everything is, when you have such a more centralized city like this, all of your infrastructure spending and everything gets funneled, right? So
right.
There's pockets of things to do in Oklahoma City. It's all over the place. But because of that, there's not like, the parks aren't as focused and things here. I mean, Tulsa's crazy, honestly. Downtown is cool.
Yeah.
But the gathering place and all of the stuff around the river.
Yeah, they also have a cool place over down Scissortail Park is over there in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I haven't been there, to be honest.
Oh, you haven't?
They were, when I moved last time I was going by, it was still being finished.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What would you say the traffic's like over there in Oklahoma City?
I mean, like I said, so like it's very similar size-wise to Houston, but there's no traffic. So
okay, that's nice.
It's like, yeah, it's still almost an hour to drive.
Holy
from
crap!
top
I
to
forgot
bottom.
there's a amusement park. I always forget about the amusement park over there, Frontier City.
Yep, I haven't been there since I was.
Dude,
in
we
school.
went there in middle school, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first
I was
moved
dating
there,
Kelsey Hayes back then. That was like, I think in 8th grade.
me and Micah almost went a couple of times, and it was like every time we were talking about going to Frontier City, there would be something on the news about someone getting stuck, and they would have all this news coverage of like the firefighters coming out to pull some people off of. So I just, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound, or maybe I was dating Lauren Martin. Sorry, I wasn't. I was trying to remember who I was dating back in middle school.
Steven's reminiscing.
No, Frontier City was awesome. Thunder games are great. I just went to one. We lost game 5. That sucked. Man, there's a lot of sporting events around Tulsa and Oklahoma City too. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have a minor league hockey team still over there in Oklahoma City.
I think it's collegiate at this point.
Oh, is it collegiate?
Yeah, OU and OSU both have teams now.
They got hockey teams?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You got me tickets to the Oiler games, which I love Tulsa Oilers, by the way.
I know. I brought you. I took you. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second because that was really cool.
The last game you got me tickets to, they scored the most points that they've ever scored.
Oh, the Oilers did?
Yeah, it was like they scored like 11 points or something.
In a hockey game?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
2 hat tricks. I know. Kelsey, my sister, and her husband were with us, and they were like, "Is it always like this?" I was like, this is only the second time I've been. I'm not sure. And I looked it up and was like, no, it turns out this is the most they've ever scored.
No, that's really cool. The Tulsa Oilers, and I remember because I didn't the OSU and OU play right before, and you could have went to that because the tickets were maybe, but
yeah, I don't know if the tickets were the same or not, but they did. They did.
I think maybe the sales rep that sent me those tickets told me that, but Oklahoma City also has a minor league baseball team down there too.
Yeah,
I forgot what the name of it. Do you remember the name of the team was?
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Is it the Dodgers?
Yeah.
I'm not a baseball person.
Yeah. But no, Oklahoma City. And I said I hate Oklahoma City at the beginning. I obviously don't hate Oklahoma City. I do a lot of videos and stuff on my Instagram. So go follow the 918 agent. Do you like those plugs? I've been practicing those plugs all day.
Yeah.
Different plugs, different places. But yeah. So I go places in Oklahoma City because really on my social media I really just tried to show a lot of different places around Oklahoma, support Oklahoma and just give people an idea of what Oklahoma and living in Oklahoma is like.
Affordable.
Oh, that's a great. So what's the average price in Oklahoma City? What would you say of a home? Like if I wanted a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
I mean the average price I think is still probably $300 at this point. I mean
Now could you go solid 3-bedroom, 2-bath?
Yeah, and it's gone up a lot. I mean, it was under 2 when I started in real estate.
That was 8 years ago.
Yeah,
it's
gone up a lot, but you can still find. I mean,
and those out in the burbs, suburbs, 300, or is that Oklahoma City proper?
All over.
Okay,
yeah, all over.
Yeah, because you can probably get a solid Tulsa house, like a solid one, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Solid one. 1,500 to 1,800 square feet, probably, maybe less, maybe 1,400 to 1,600. But You can get a solid one for like $250.
Oh yeah, I mean we're talking median. You know, you can still get stuff for $150.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
it's just gonna be less. There's gonna be you gotta move faster. There's less supply,
a lot of
more demand.
Yeah, demand. So going back over here to Tulsa, Tulsa has some really cool sporting stuff. Like we have the Tulsa Oilers, which since I'm a little bit of an influencer by accident, but I'm kind of just leaning into it because I think it's fun. I went to the Tulsa Oilers game and got sweet tickets, and you went. And when I had this big event, I had like 40 of my clients, and I brought you and Micah out, and you guys loved that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then you guys said, "Hey, hook me up with some more tickets." And I made a couple calls. You know, I'm pretty well connected. Got you guys some pretty good tickets in section 310, like top row.
Yeah,
were you in the upper deck?
We were in the upper deck.
All right, I need to call my people at Tulsa Oilers. Say, hey, what's up with this? I was trying to impress some people.
To be fair, there was,
was there a lot of people
moved down if we wanted to.
Oh, you could have? Okay. No, so we had Tulsa Oilers. We also have the Tulsa Oilers 2 indoor football team.
What?
Oh my! So this is so funny. Let me tell you this story. So I'm on Facebook, right? Because once again, social media guy, and I'm flipping through, and the announcement came through that the Tulsa Oilers hockey team were also going to have a indoor football team, which is really cool because Tulsa used to have an indoor football team way back when, and then they sold it to San Antonio, whatever. And so I was real excited that they're going to bring this indoor football team back, but they had this poll. They said, hey, in the comment section below, give us the name of what you like for the indoor football team for Tulsa to be. People are like, oh yeah, let's be called like the Tornadoes or the Twisters.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, right. Makes sense.
Love
Live in
alliterations.
Oklahoma, maybe the Buffaloes.
Bison.
Yep, Bison. But they had all these names down in the comment section. There's just some great names. Mm-hmm. The next week they rolled out and said, all right, we are revealing the name of the new indoor Tulsa football team as the Tulsa Oilers. I was like, what? I was like, you went through this whole thing. I was actually really, really upset. And in backstory, I also heard that the league told them, hey, the colors we don't want you to use, you can use any colors, but don't use black and gold. Like, don't use black and gold because I guess that's hard to like for reasons for marketing or stuff. You know what they chose? They chose
black and gold.
Yeah. So, but anyway, but it's still cool. I mean, Tulsa Oilers. Now it's just super confusing. When you talk to people, are like, "Oh, Tulsa Oilers. Are you talking about the football team or are you talking about the hockey team?" I think they were skimping out. I think they wanted marketing material. They're like, "Hey, we don't have to pay for two name names now. We just pay for one.
Split it up,
or just change the logo out. We'll just keep the Tulsa Oilers." I want to know the backstory of why they named it that because I haven't got a good answer yet.
Well, I think it has something to do with the oil industry here.
But can't you like call it the Tulsa gas pumps or something?
No.
Or the Tulsa
gas pumps.
I don't know. Tulsa. What other good Tulsa Roughnecks?
Naming
Tulsa Roughnecks. Why did they not go? I think that was the name of our old indoor football team. Was the Tulsa Roughnecks? Why could we not do that? If it was around oil.
Yeah.
What else could we do?
I think you should start a petition.
I should. It's dumb.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's definitely confusing. They're associated, right? Like it's not an NHL team necessarily, right? They're like a farm team.
Yeah, so they're farm. So I found out that they are a farm team to the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah,
the Mighty Ducks.
There's an Oilers NHL team, and so I thought that
I saw that
they were going to be their farm team. Turns out Tulsa just kind of has a tradition of naming their sports teams
after
Oilers.
Oils. Because I guess that makes sense. So that leads into the minor league football team. Or sorry, baseball team that we have, the Tulsa Drillers, One Oak Field, which is I haven't took you to a baseball game.
I have not been to.
All right, I'll take you. I know people. I can get you there. I can get you some good tickets. Row 300 or section 300. But they're not very expensive, honestly. I took my son to a game last year, and if you have kids, this is when you might start popping out kids. You want to buy tickets in the lawn because the tickets out in the lawn or out in the outfield, close to the splash pad, close to the playground. Because if you have kids, you're not going to watch the game at all. You're going to basically be at the splash pad playground area the whole entire time and not watch the game. But the kids have fun, and that's all that matters. But those tickets are only like $10. At least when we went, they were $10, and it was awesome.
Affordable.
And I say you don't get to watch the game. Like, what I did is I just had the kids there, and I just walked around and, kind of was able to watch the game. But yeah, Tulsa Drillers. So that makes sense about behind the oil. And then we got a minor league soccer team. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yep. It's called FC Tulsa. Got it a couple of years back. So, but
nice.
yeah, so we got that too. And then we got BMX track now.
Tulsa has a professional golf. Southern Hills. They actually come and play.
PGA.
Yeah.
PGA. Tiger Woods came out here and played that.
Played the Open.
Is it the Open? PGA Open?
Yeah, I think they've done the U.S. Open here twice. Or maybe the last one might have been the Players' Championship. But
did Tiger win? Tiger ever win Southern Hills?
I don't think so.
No.
I went to the U.S. Open in like 2001.
Isn't that crazy? Did you get to watch Tiger?
I did.
Is it just like a mob of people just following him?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But yeah, no, we had the BMX track here, which is the Olympic Development Center for the U.S. Olympians for BMX. I'm actually moving somebody from South Carolina, Mississippi.
Olympic?
No, they're not. Well, their son's really, really good. I don't know how good because I just started talking to them. But they found me on my YouTube channel and they reached out to me and, want me to help them find a house. I'm actually helping them this Saturday. They're coming in and they're looking. But they're moving to Tulsa that's one of their main drivers is for that Olympic Development Center thing. Because I guess their son's like a beast at BMX, which I didn't even know that was honestly a real sport.
Is that, that's what I was wondering. Is that an Olympic sport?
Yeah, it's an Olympic sport. Yeah, they brought it in the Olympics. And the reason why I know this is because I was watching BMX between when the U.S. Basketball team was playing. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is Olympic sport now. But they have like skateboarding now. And they're having 3v3 this year. 3v3 basketball. This is going to be sick.
Like intramurals or what?
No, not intramurals. It's like in the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still talking about the Olympics.
Yeah, sorry. They did 3v3 like what do you call it? Like adult sport league in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, they have a bunch of that stuff here too. We actually have like a little.
So Paris, they're doing 3v3.
Yeah, they're having 3v3 over in Paris.
What?
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, no, Tulsa has a lot of great stuff, and Oklahoma City has a lot of great stuff too. What would you say probably the top suburbs of Oklahoma City?
Well,
top 3 suburbs. Go.
By what? Like what am I ranking based on?
Edmond, all right, so let's set the stage. You are married. You have 2 kids. You're putting your kids in public school because you know what? The economy right now is just horrible. You and your wife are scraping by $100,000, so private school's out of the question.
The problem is how much we invest in our education system, but keep going.
Okay. I don't even know what you said. Yeah, so 2 kids. You have a dog named Eddie. No, Spike.
He needs a yard.
That's what I'm exactly getting at. So you need a yard. Probably nothing bigger than a 1/4 acre. You know what? You like grocery stores. So you want somewhere with highly dense grocery stores. They like Trader Joe's, but aren't, if you're not close to a Trader Joe's, that's okay. As long as there's maybe like, a natural grocery store nearby because, those high quality, red dye 40s and all those things. So yeah, so basically I'm one suburb and, that's kind of, you remember all that?
Yeah.
Go. Give me your top 3. Go. Top 3 suburbs in Oklahoma City. Go.
If I'm this person, it's going to be Edmond, Yukon, and Mustang.
Yukon? Oh, shoot.
This is Mustang North.
I was thinking Lawton. When you said Yukon, I was thinking Lawton Ike. Lawton?
That's a long ways away.
Yeah. How far is the Lawton from?
An hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay. So you say Edmond, Yukon, and Mustang?
Mm-hmm.
What's the, in that order?
Probably.
Yeah. What's the difference between Edmond and Yukon,
I'm gonna,
Edmond.
just to be clear, my personal favorite subdivision, my personal favorite, like, it's a little sleeper. Okay, the people who live here
I like
probably
this.
don't
Inside info.
want me to say this,
Dude, because of this podcast, that suburb's gonna blow up now. Not blow up.
I hope
like,
not.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna
Yeah.
more population. Like, I'm like, oh gosh, can we edit that? No, I'm just kidding.
I really like Forest Park.
Forest Park, where's that at?
It's on the east side.
Is that an actual suburb?
It is its own municipality. They have their own police force.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a neighborhood community, though.
Forest Park. Do they have their own public school system?
I don't think so.
So where do they go to school at?
I'm sure it's Oklahoma City public schools.
How are Oklahoma City public schools versus Tulsa public schools?
I haven't been inside either of them.
Oh, okay. Does a lot of
Is
people talk
Tulsa
trash
bad?
on them?
Yeah.
Okay, but I guess that's kind of every public school system.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk bad about Tulsa public schools.
I've seen a lot of bad things.
You've seen a lot of bad things about Tulsa public schools?
Well, just there's a lot of conflict, it seems like, between the state and Tulsa. They've been talking about taking away their,
So what would they do?
superintendent or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where are they going to take them?
To jail, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Tulsa public schools are, yeah.
I think it's a little political, but
Yeah. Yeah. So Forest Park, okay. Never even heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard of, what was it, Nickel Hills? Is that where all the rich people live?
yeah.
Yeah. Then I heard of Piedmont
Mm-hmm.
and Tuttle. Those pretty good.
Yeah, those Piedmont and Tuttle are both places that are like you're starting to get a little further out. It's like,
So how far is Edmond from, let's make it, how far is Edmond from Oklahoma City? Downtown.
I drive time,
Yeah, drive time.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. And then Yukon,
Probably about the
30
same.
minutes.
Yeah, it's probably 25, 30. Yukon and Mustang are very close to each other. Yeah, northwest.
I've heard a lot of good things about Mustang. And then how far was Tuttle and
So Piedmont is like a little further out. So it's like Collinsville to Owasso.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got you.
You're getting a little further out. And it's
Gotcha.
going to be the same thing with Tuttle, but it's the other direction to the south.
Got you. All right, cool. Well, thank you for your top 3.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That was really good.
What are your top 3s in Tulsa?
Dude, you're good. You're good. Asking me questions. Man, I would go. If I was talking about like primary suburbs, I would go Owasso, Bixby, Broken Arrow, in that order.
Mm-hmm.
But my sleeper ones, because we're talking about sleepers, that's ones that really really matter. I really like Skytook,
Mm-hmm.
Collinsville, and Coweta. So I call them secondary suburbs. That's what I call them.
Okay.
I made up that terminology, by the way.
Just now?
Yep. And they're basically like smaller suburbs of Tulsa. That's why they're called secondary suburbs. But yeah, no, those are my good ones. Skytook, Collinsville, and Coweta. And I like them just because they're smaller school size, a little bit more affordable in real estate comparatively to like the rest of Tulsa. Obviously, Tulsa's very affordable as a whole, but
Compared to the rest of the country, yeah.
yeah, compared to the rest of the country. But yeah, I like those ones the best. So yeah, they're really really good. But let's go back to talking about you a little bit. So I made fun of you at the very beginning of the podcast, and now I'm starting to have regret of it. So I want to apologize about saying that you're unemployed, even though you kind of are. But you're doing this entrepreneurial thing, but you got some pretty cool ideas of what you're doing, and we were talking about them in the car, and you're in the process of writing a book, right?
Couple of books.
Couple books. What was the name of the one that you told? I forgot the name of it, and I said it was awesome.
If you wouldn't have asked, I probably would have been able to tell you.
That's all right. So what are some of the things you're working on?
I'm working on an accounting book, kind of like self-employed accounting. I'm also working on a project for people who have ADHD, like project management and tips for managing that, especially for someone self-employed. And then also I'm still doing programming stuff, seeking financing, working on designing and things, some real estate investing software.
Okay. So what what's probably your biggest one that you like?
I mean, the biggest overall,
biggest project
is going to be the real estate investing stuff. Yeah, but it's also like
what's your kind of goal behind that?
To try to put the tools into people's hands that I developed throughout the years at Invest OKC, to give people, especially even if it doesn't get outside the state, I think it would be really a success just to give people another marketplace,
right?
A different lens. There's a lot of people who look at real estate, personal homes, as an investment, but there's really no way to shop from that lens. It's like if you were trying to buy stocks based on photos of their corporate headquarters,
right?
Like glossy photos and what's in their corporate amenities or something in their offices rather than financials. Real estate is the best investment that most middle class families in America make.
Yeah, I think real estate's very important with, stock market's great, but I think
it's really not.
We'll get back to that. You told me this when I first started getting into real estate. You said, Steven, real estate's probably is the best investment because it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can't be manipulated too much, like the stock market can. I mean, we're seeing that right now with AMC and not Radio Shack.
There's a lot of reasons.
GameStop, but so and I get a lot of through my channels, I get a lot of people asking me about first time investors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are 3 things, because you're building the software to help probably first time investors and maybe even seasoned investors, but what are the top 3 things you would tell someone investing in Oklahoma or investing just in real estate in general? What would you tell them the first 3 steps would be?
The first 3 steps, the first step is to define your goals. A lot of people get excited. There's a good industry, a lot of books out there that do a really good job of getting people excited about real estate investing. And so I find a lot of people would come in and they're like, I want to buy 300 houses. I want 300 doors. But then they would also at the same time be like, I want to quit my job and live on the beach. And like, it's going to be hard to live on the beach if you have 300 doors. That's a full-time job. You got a team. That's constant tenant calls, But it's a popular answer, right? So the first thing is, are you looking to build? Are you trying to be Donald Trump? Or are you trying to be Kendall and unemployed?
Be Kendall and be unemployed.
Right. Because if so, then like 10 doors paid off. That's what you're looking for, right?
So 10 doors, that's a good number. That basically supplements a full-time job. Or not supplements, but...
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, $150 a month cash flow per door is pretty, like, average good, Like, that's... So...
Okay, so goal number, or step 1, define your goal. What is your goal for investing?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
Find a market that fits your strategy realistically. That's another thing. A lot of people like try to bend things, like you got to, whatever your financial situation is, you have to start there and then go look at the real estate market and say, okay, if this is my goal and I'm trying to get there in 30 years or I'm trying to get there in 10 years, then go find the place that's the most realistic to hit that.
Sorry, I have a property that has a water leak.
Do you need to take that?
No, take it real quick. You can keep on recording. Hi, this is Steven.
Yes, hello, this is Adam with Asphalt Plumbing.
Yes.
I'm currently at your guys' rent house right now. I'm trying to figure out where the leak is at.
They said it's in the hallway in front of the bathroom. The hallway bathroom.
I've never done a podcast, but I'm not sure that this is supposed to happen.
Do you know who found the leak?
It was the listing agent. Can I give you her number and can you give her a call? Because she knows exactly where it's at. I haven't actually went into the property.
This is a hardworking real estate agent, though.
Okay, hold on real quick. I'm going to put you on speaker.
Okay.
This is great.
This is
Are you
great.
ready? It is 918-520-6514. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. No. Oh, so sorry. I put you on hold for some reason. Did you get that?
Oh, yeah, I got it. I was just saying I'll give her a call so she can point me in the right direction.
Okay, perfect. And her name is Amanda.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you're not doing a podcast right now, Amanda.
Yeah, so that's part of real estate. So
That's a good agent, though.
that's a great agent.
Yeah.
I got a leak going on, dude. I gotta
Put your client first.
I gotta put my client first. Hey, plumber's calling you. Dude, that's the thing about real estate, bro. So this is supposed to close tomorrow. We had some structural issues. We got it handled. Got foundation repairs, piers, all that good stuff. And the listing agent does her final walkthrough yesterday and says there's a leak. And I was like, what? So got on the phone with the plumber, got them out there, blah blah blah, and we're supposed to close tomorrow. So what was number two was
Yeah, I think probably take stock of your personal finance situation, where you're at, set your goals, realistically come up with how much cash you have, what's your debt to income, and figure that stuff out. Those are going to be the two variables that are going to play into what your ultimate strategy is going to be. And then where that strategy can be deployed and executed realistically is the market that you should. I'm a big fan of remote, a lot of people, because it's still maybe, there's a lot of people that would say it's very risky, which, in some ways it is. But I think in some ways it's also less risky than just exclusively investing wherever you're at, because it forces you in a way to do due diligence, where people who only invest in their hometown tend to just use the gut, Oh, I know.
what would be so your number one was define a goal.
Yeah, what's your goal?
What's your goal? Number two was figure out how to basically get to that goal of what market.
Where are you starting?
Where are you starting?
Right. What's your personal finance situation?
Yeah, what's your personal finance situation? And then number three?
And then three is going to be determine a strategy, an acquisition strategy. And, because it's if your ultimate goal is to have rentals, right? If you're looking for passive income, but you don't have the cash to get there, then you can start off flipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you need to build up some cash, there's pretty much always a way there.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the willpower and the drive, it's just a matter of being realistic, right?
Right. And then step number 4 is to contact an agent, which I am your agent right here, the 918 agent. If you ever have any questions or concerns about real estate, either selling or buying real estate, call your friendly realtor, the 918 agent, Stephen Hester. Contact information is down below.
That was nice.
But that wouldn't be your step 4, would it be?
It would definitely be probably to find an agent.
Yeah, and also investments. I mean, you need to find and maybe we can talk about this for a second. Is finding an agent for investment properties, because there's so many agents out there that says they do investment properties, but they really don't. And that's something else that I discovered very early on when I started working with investors. And actually, I called you. I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. And I called you first because I mean,
to be honest, I don't really know any other ones. I know people who say that they specialize in investing, agents. Not going to say any names, but they don't.
Say them.
No.
Drag them through the mud. Do it. No. I'm trying to get clicks here, bro.
It's if you here's some tips. if you're looking for a investor agent, specifically if you're going to buy residential distressed properties, ask for some stats. Okay, so some things to look at. What is the median price?
Dude, hold on, time out. Give me questions that you should ask your listing or your investor agent to find out if they're true. Is that what you were doing?
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just interrupted you.
So you want to find out, you want to get all of their sale data.
Okay.
Right. What are the transactions you've closed on the buy side? I don't care about listings, and maybe listings too, just so I can do what's your balance? Are you 50-50? Do you mostly do listings, or you 20% of your business is buys, 80% listings? So it's going to be median close price. That tells you, are they, because if you're looking for distressed properties, which is really what I consider an investment property, and they're selling in 200, 300,000 range all the time, then they're not selling distressed properties. And then also, what is their close price to list price ratio? So if it's 100% or 102%, right, that's also not a great sign, because most of these properties are going to be poorly listed and you're going to be trying to negotiate. So a sign that someone actually does this kind of business is going to be a low number on their median close price. Mm-hmm. They're going to be selling a lot of stuff under $100,000. The average of all of my sales were like 60,000, 68,000, something like that. It's like the median close price for my entire career.
Dang, that's your median? That was your median?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, my median is 300,000. Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't really work with investors all that often, because the first question that I ask my investors is, I ask how long do you own an investment property currently?
Yeah. And
if they say no, then I usually tell them, like, I'm not the right guy for you, because I'm not doing investing property, because I don't want to do them a disservice, right?
Well, you're making money doing other things.
Yeah, I got people that are looking for $300,000, $400,000 houses. That's more of my realm of dealing with those type of clientele. So I only hold about 4 investors at a time as a clientele, because they're buying multiple properties a year. They know what they're looking for. They really just use me as eyes here in Tulsa, because they have programs and algorithms that are running through properties, and they give me a list of 2 or 3 and say, hey, we're going to put an offer on this house. We just need to see the inside of it real quick.
Yeah.
Go shoot a video of it and send it to me. I say, solid. I'll go do that. No problem. And I'll send it to them, and then they basically kind of take it from there. I'm basically just kind of write, I'm like almost like their secretary, write the offer for them, and they tell me what to put down, and go set up inspections for them, and we're good to go. Because all of them are remote, right?
Yeah.
So
it's popular. There's a lot of remote investors.
I had an investor that he found a deal through a wholesaler, and I just gave him a flat fee. Said, hey, this is a flat fee. If it closes or not, you're paying me, type of deal, right? And so went out, looked at the house, got it under contract, bought it for $120, did about maybe $15,000 worth of repairs, and sold it for $195.
Nice.
$199.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. But that was his first one here in Tulsa. But it's just it was really cool watching the process. But he did all that out of California.
Yeah.
He lived in California. So he had contractors and all that stuff and already lined up. And I was basically his eyes and ears. So I would go check on it once a week, just to see. So, but yeah.
The other thing I would tell people is, real estate is the best place to start investing if you're interested in trying to grow wealth and you're like in the middle class or lower middle class, rather than the stock market, because first off, every investment marketplace is rigged. If there wasn't some sort of rigging, then it wouldn't be possible to invest, because you have to be able to more or less guarantee through mathematical analysis that there's going to be a profit, and that requires some sort of control, right? So the real estate market is the only like asset class in the U.S. that is regulated by the U.S. government. Regulates the appraisal process, and more or less like the function of an investor is valuation, right? So if you think about what you're doing is you're guessing what the future value is going to be, and it's form fill in real estate, which is why flipping is so easy, because you know there's really, it is actually regulated, and it has been since the 1980s.
So when you say rigged, you're saying real estate's rigged, or you're saying the stock market's rigged?
Both.
Oh, both. Okay.
Yeah. But the stock market and things like this, they're rigged in the favor of large entities. And that's the difference. The residential real estate market is pretty much the only investment marketplace that is rigged to the favor of the individual. That's why until very recently you didn't see hedge funds and stuff investing in residential real estate, because it's the best place to start, but you pretty quickly get to a point where it's not scalable because there's so much work. You know, if you've got $100 million that you're trying to invest, single family homes don't make sense. But if you've got $50,000 you're trying to double, there's no other place that you can do it as effectively.
That's interesting.
And if you have $50,000 and you put it in the stock market, you know, like,
because
compound interest isn't going to happen fast.
Right. It's not going to happen fast.
Right.
So if you had $50,000, you lived in whatever, Tulsa, you lived in Oklahoma somewhere. Your first move, get an idea of what you want to do those top 3 steps. And then what do you do after you kind of figure it all out?
I had a client who had $50,000 at one point in time.
Story time. I love story time.
Yep.
Give me story time.
He had a good W-2 job. Okay, so this was kind of his situation, right?
Right.
He had low debt to income, good job, good W-2, right? So he can go to a bank. He had $50,000 cash sitting there.
Because he sold drugs.
No, I think just because he saved.
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right, cool. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
And so we turned that into 3 houses.
50,000?
Yep. So we used it as down payments. That was his
okay, so that was his down payments. Okay. All right.
So his goal was 12% cash.
This is in Oklahoma City. Okay.
Yep. So we turned
Is
that
Aaron?
into. Nope.
No.
Can't tell you names though.
Pause the story. We're going to find out about my plumbing issue, see what the problem is. Hi, this is Steven.
Hi, Stephen. This is Wendy with Aspen Plumbing.
Yes.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know that our plumber was able to find the location, and he should be arriving pretty soon, or he should already be there. And I did pass along that lockbox code.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, he's already there. He gave me a call. He's having a tough time finding the leak, so I gave him the other agent that found it or said she found it. So.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
The good news is if you have a hard time finding a leak, it can't be that bad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so, oh wait. Okay, she hasn't talked to him yet. Saga continues. So a person that you're not going to name, but in this case, we're going to call him Aaron, because it's not Aaron. I didn't say a last name. I could have made up that name. So $50,000, bought 3 houses, Oklahoma City. Also, he's not a drug dealer. Continue.
Yeah. So we hit the 12% cash on cash return just on rent. Okay. So mailbox money, right? Passive income. And then he cashed out, sold all the properties. And I don't know exactly how much he made, but I think he more or less like tripled his initial investment too.
So how much, down payment, was he putting 20% down?
Probably something like that. It's different when you're doing investment.
Okay.
Because you can use the equity in the home.
Gotcha.
To make up for your down payment, right? So if there's 40% equity and you need 20% down, and you're, projecting only spending 20% on a remodel, you actually can not put any money down. I've had closings where I've had a lot of closings where my clients actually got checks from the bank. So they walked away with keys, with a new property, and money.
What's the most money you ever seen?
Oh, I mean, not a lot. Obviously, like $10,000,
Okay.
something like that.
That helps with the remodel if they need remodeling.
Right.
So he had 50,000, bought 3 houses, and then was making money off them right off the bat. Did he have to put any money into those houses?
So it came out of the 50.
Okay, that came out of the 50 of putting money inside.
That was all. Yeah.
And then he was able to cash flow those with his mortgage that he was paying on it, and then a couple of years later he sold all 3.
Yeah. So I think he was making like $5,000 like a year.
Is this the guy that moved down to Dallas?
Again, it's Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
can't tell you specifically who.
Yeah.
This is a hypothetical situation.
Oh, it was a hypothetical. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember this guy. Made a lot of money.
Yeah.
He made a lot of money when he sold all those. That's that when you told me that story, that's when I was like, man, dude, why do you not do this?
Well, because I don't have a good W-2.
Right. And that's what, yeah.
And also, I got a bug, and it's not for money so much as starting things and doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. Awesome. Well, we got a couple more minutes here. I want you to kind of give a shout out to your social media of what you're doing on your social media right now, because I'm real proud of you posting every single day. So what's going on? What are you doing?
KendallJames.com. That's what I'm doing.
Did you really get that URL?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got it there. And then you're doing this 30. Are you still doing 30 day, or did you?
I've been doing stories. I still consider that posting every day. That's really just trying to get a routine.
Yeah. And you're just getting you're just putting your thoughts out there, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For the first
30 days.
Just trying to.
Yep. Just getting your thoughts out there and doing that.
And then at the end, I'm going to launch something, the projects I named, doing
Right. Right. Well, this is going to be actually a series that me and Kendall do. I'm actually going to have Kendall just come on randomly throughout this podcast adventure. And we're just going to talk about random stuff. And today, I think we just talked about a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah. Talked to some plumbers. We took some calls.
We took some calls. I tried to get the information of a guy that I wasn't probably not supposed to get his name, but it is Aaron. Yeah, so it worked out good. I'm learning about this stuff, like HIPAA.
Me too.
So, hey guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.